Hi, my name is Brianna Rod, and I am a cadet here at the Citadel. I am the class of 2020 Regimental Public Affairs Officer, and today I'm delighted to have our second in command, Dr. Sally Selden, here. Thank you so much for being here today with me, Dr. Selden.
Well, thank you so much for the invitation. Please call me Sally.
Okay, Sally. Well, I'm delighted that you're here, and I have some questions for you to get to know you better. And my first question is, why did you become the provost here at the Citadel?
It's a great question. I've known about the Citadel for a very long time, but what really drew me to this position was the Citadel's mission and the commitment to educate and train principal leaders. And if you know a little bit about me, and as you get to know me a little bit more, you'll know that I come out of a management school, and one of the areas I taught in is leadership. And I've always been impressed with the impact that the Citadel education has on its cadets. And they're well known for the quality of their graduates. And that's really important to me, to be part of an organization that has such a clear mission, and everybody's committed to driving that mission forward.
So you are a general in the chain of command of this college. Did you ever imagine yourself being in that position?
Oh gosh, honestly, no, I never imagined myself in this position. But I will tell you, as I got to know more about the Citadel, I realized what an amazing opportunity it would be, and especially having the opportunity to work with General Walters, who's had such a distinguished military career. So no, if you'd asked me 20 years ago when I began my academic career, would I be provost at the Citadel? Probably would not have even crossed my mind.
So a lot of people don't know what provosts are, or what they do. So can you tell me what your responsibilities are as a provost and second in command here at the Citadel?
Absolutely. It's interesting because at some schools they use the term provost, other schools use vice president for academic affairs, but the provost is essentially responsible for executing and strategic planning for the academic mission of the institution. And so as provost, I'm engaged in strategic planning. That's a key part of what I do, really aligning our resources to drive our strategic plan forward. I'm really focused on the academic programs that we are offering to our cadets. It's important that we make sure those academic programs are of the highest quality, that they're really aligned with the market, and that they have the level of rigor that we want to ensure that our cadets are ready when they graduate coming out of those academic programs. Now, what's interesting is that as second in command, I had to focus on more than just the academic mission, right? So you can't execute the academic mission without all the other parts of the college.
So you are the third woman to be in a vice president leader position. What challenges does that present to you?
Well, first, I just want to say how welcoming everybody has been, and you're right. And in fact, I'm the only woman serving amongst the vice presidents on the President's Council. So that is unique, but I'll be honest with you, I think it's really an opportunity for me. I bring a different perspective, I bring different experiences, and I think that's valuable in terms of our dialogue when we're talking about important issues. I'll be honest with you, I think it's really important to have women in vice president roles because we can serve as role models for other faculty and staff, but also for cadets. And I know how important it is for me. I come up through an academic discipline that's largely male, and I know how important it was to me to have women role models.
In most of my classes throughout school, I'm usually the only female in the class as well, and since the female population in the Corps is only 10%, what do you see as the keys to success to recruit more women into the Corps?
That's a great question, and something I've actually thought a lot about. I do think getting the positive messages out about our women cadets who are currently enrolled, but also our graduates, is one way to really attract more women applicants. We've got to start by generating more interest in the Citadel, right? This is an amazing place. Women are incredibly successful here. They hold very high levels in terms of the leadership roles, and I think that if we can get that message out, we might attract more folks.
So what are the greatest academic challenges within the Corps that you have identified so far?
Well, this was really interesting to me because, of course, I've been in higher education for a very long time, over 20 years, and I was actually startled by how many academic credits our cadets take. And so I will tell you, one of the greatest challenges is really balancing the very demanding academic schedules that cadets are enrolled in, and then you've got all of your additional requirements related to the military component of your educational experience, right? So, I think there are only so many hours in the day, so the challenges are, how do I make sure, how do the cadets make sure they're prepared for class, right? At the same time, making sure that they're executing the other responsibilities as well. I mean, this is one big living and learning community, and you can't separate the academic from the, life in the barracks, right? So those two things go hand in hand together, and that's what I really like about the structure with the leadership development model. But I do know that having that additional layer makes it much more challenging academically to manage.
Yes, in my experience and a lot of my peers' experiences is there's some times where we're taking, 22
Yes.
or 25 credits in order to graduate. So do you think that that is something that we could maybe change in the future?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I've talked a lot with my colleagues here, both faculty and deans, and that was one of the motivations behind the changes to the general education curriculum. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but as part of that change, they decreased the number of hours so that it allowed a little more flexibility, because it's really demanding, right? You have to take your ROTC courses, you have to take your leadership courses, you have all of the general education courses, and you have your academic program of study. And so when you put all that together, it's a pretty demanding schedule.
Okay, so what do you hope to accomplish within your first year at the Citadel?
That is an excellent question, because I feel like do you ever run on a treadmill? Yeah. So I feel like I've been on a treadmill at speed 10.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right. So from my perspective, one of the things I'm really trying to accomplish is really getting to understand the operation. Right. At the end of the year, I really want to have a really good understanding of what cadet life is like, what the different academic programs are like, how we operate internally. So that's sort of one goal. The second big goal, which is incredibly important, is really kind of putting the final touches on our new strategic plan, Mighty Citadel 2026. Okay. And we've been working on that this fall, so that's really, really exciting. And then the last piece, I could talk about a whole lot, but the last piece I'd really like to focus on is kind of really building a strong relationship with my leadership team within the academic unit. We're going to be hiring 2 new academic deans for 2 of our schools this year. And so I hope by the end of the year I'll have that entire academic team in place.
So what do you see as your top accomplishments personally and professionally within your life?
Okay. Well, I have to tell you, I'm a mom. So probably my most important personal accomplishments are my 3 sons, right? So I've got a 20-year-old, I've got an 18-year-old, and a 16-year-old. And I have to tell you, I'm so proud of all of them. They are wonderful young men, all are Eagle Scouts. But I'm really proud of my family, and I have a wonderful husband. And so from a personal perspective, I'm really proud of that. From a professional perspective, that's a great question, and I guess I'll go back to I've been fortunate to have a lot of positive experiences professionally, but I'll go back to my last position at the University of Lynchburg. I had an amazing team, and together we were really able to build and to execute the boldest strategic plan in history of the college. We were able to really advance that institution.
Do your sons plan on coming to the Citadel?
Well, 2 were already committed to college prior to me taking this position. So my 3rd son is all around the Citadel. So yes, I'm holding out hope that he will come to the Citadel.
Well, I hope he, makes that decision and maybe can start a legacy within that.
Wouldn't that be great? I would love it. Absolutely.
Yes. Well, we're running out of time, but do you have anything else that you'd like to add?
Well, I would tell you, I just thought it might be funny because, as I thought about coming to the Citadel, it's been a big shift for me from a cultural perspective. And I just laugh because I feel like I'm back to being a student. I feel like I'm a knob, right? I have learned so much, and it's an entirely different language. Just for example, you're in communications, you kind of get this. Previously in my professional organizations, we always called them presentations. Well, here we call them briefings, right? Yeah. So I've learned so much about the military, and I see in so many ways how it impacts our culture. So it's really been exciting. I mean, I even fired a cannon. I mean, I would never imagine myself to ever fire a cannon. And now I have to tell you, I was a little bit nervous, but I had very good instruction from the cadets, so I was able to execute that responsibility.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Selden, or Sally, for coming here today, and I appreciate it so much.
Oh, anytime. This was really a lot of fun. Thank you. And I'm really proud of everything you've done.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you.